And now I invite Celia Milton, wedding celebrant and author, and she's going to talk about creating modern rituals.
Yay! I don't know that I really want to talk after that. Where are my bride and groom? Come on, bride. Come on, groom. Congratulations. Can I set up here? Just put it on the plate. Yes, I would like you to put the sushi on the plate. Good morning, everybody. It's great to see you all. Whether you're a celebrant already or you're just becoming one, congratulations. It's a lot of fun. So now I want you to imagine that you're at a wedding as a guest. The great love story has been told, the vows have been exchanged, the rings have changed hands. So we're going to pick up right there in our mock ceremony. Hold hands. No, however you like. He's going to start quoting my own ceremonies back to me. As a civil celebrant authorized by the state of confusion, I hereby pronounce you not really husband and not really wife and not really partners and family. You may give each other an air kiss. Now, when we were discussing what ritual elements we would include in May and Michael's wedding, Michael blurted out, we should have food. Nothing could be more appropriate, especially for this couple, because they love food. Cooking together and eating together, entertaining their friends and their family. Sharing food is never about eating. Sharing a meal is one of the most powerful demonstrations of family and fellowship. It is our connection to the world around us, to the sea, to the earth, and to the air, all of whom contribute to this moment. The sushi that Michael and May will share gives us all those elements in the palm of their hands. Sushi for breakfast. Rice is the staff of life. It represents the sustenance that your partnership will give to you in our connection to the earth. The tuna represents the bounty of the sea, renewing with our care and concern, and the red is the color of celebration. Fish is a symbol of prosperity. It's a symbol of a life without want. The soy sauce reminds us that life is often sweet and salty at the same time. Wasabi is the spiciness that evolves with time to a passionate burn. And sesame seeds represent many children. Music to the future grandparents' ears. Marriage, like sushi, is a wonderful blend of elements and experiences. Each one of these elements will teach you something. As they combine to form the pattern of your life, each individual experience, each moment retains its own personality. Like each grain of rice, like each tiny sesame seed. But together they form these moments that transcend any singular flavor. So by sharing this sushi, you are now symbolically demonstrating your commitment to face all of life together, to enjoy every moment of joy, of challenge, to learn and grow from everything that comes your way.
I forgot to put some of the things out on the plate.
No wasabi, but... Oh, well.
Cheers.
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 You may be seated. So welcome to Creating Modern Rituals. That phrase, modern ritual, it might seem either contradictory or abstract in that kind of crunchy granola, let's hug a tree kind of way. But I'll suggest that while it may be both, it doesn't really have to be either. I'd prefer to call this thing making memories. Let's keep it really simple. No PowerPoint, no laptop, no nothing. When we make a ritual, we create a visual, tangible reminder of the event that we're celebrating. In many ways, we create, as my friend Poet John O'Donohue would say, a feast for the senses. By injecting the unexpected chunk of senses, whether it's the smell of incense or the sound of a gong or the unexpected visual of a draping or a lasso or the 7 steps, we have shocked emotion into remembrance. Rituals exist all around us in huge and in tiny ways, and they serve us well. You've created rituals for yourself. You probably have had a couple of ritual moments already, the way that you made your coffee this morning, your lucky shirt, or your lucky socks, or your lucky black pen, no blue. The way you print your ceremonies, the way you print your keepsake copies, or maybe the way you even start to write. Do you gather all your books around you? Do you need that pen? Do you need that music? Maybe you use visualization. Maybe you use an inspiration board. Maybe you image. We all have our rituals, and we need them. Clearly, the challenge might be to find something that isn't a ritual, not what is. Each word and every movement in a ceremony is filled with meaning. And while, of course, the joining of the partners is the most obvious, the most important reason for that gathering, there are always the subtexts. There are always the nuances to the ceremony, and it's your expertise that will help you and your couples really create rituals that are evocative and celebratory. It sounds really mysterious, but it really isn't. Every time you suggest a way for a couple to remember their relatives who've passed, every time you integrate a favorite object, a cherished poem, every time you tweak that sand pouring, or encourage your couples to approach their vows in a different way, every time you do that, you're creating a ritual. Every time you step away from that unity candle and have your couples pour salt or share wine, you're creating a ritual. And after your ceremony, when Uncle Phil comes up to you and says something like, I really didn't expect much from that ceremony. It wasn't in a church, but I was really moved. And trust me, it'll happen. You'll know that you created a ritual, but you've created a ritual that every person in that room is going to remember, far beyond the context for which you created it. That's a great ritual. Now, we might ask, why bother to reinvent the wheel? Well, because the wheel needs a new hubcap. Rituals connect us to each other, to humanity. They continue a holistic connection, but we need to express it in language that works for that couple. The creation of ritual, it's a really delicate task. Partly because as officiants, we can only be responsible for half of that journey. We're meeting our audience halfway. The other part, the larger part perhaps, is that the audience is responsible for that creation just as we are. Many of us feel alienated by the rituals we grew up with, but we still yearn for rituals that express us. They express our individuality, and they may, at the same time, embrace change and tradition. And your clients are no different. In many of their families, the contemporary families, rituals are totally abandoned. There is no family dinner anymore. Many of our younger clients seek those rituals that speak in their language, not their grandparents', even though each generation will hold the same values dear. We live in a crazy, temporary society, and it's a society that longs for ritual as a whole. If you think of your wildest, most untraditional couples, the chances are that they may have wanted their parents to give them away. They may have wanted you to pronounce them husband and wife. And they may have wanted you to say, "You may kiss your bride." That's the one that always surprises me. For many of them, although the content of that ceremony can be very radical, the format is often very traditional and very comforting. There's a very small and very surprising area where this desire to be totally radical and to be totally traditional intersect. And that's where your creativity as an officiant can be the most fruitful. By bringing your wide knowledge, or at least your world-class Googling skills, by bringing that together with your compassion and our out-of-the-box thinking, We create the rituals of